guys, just about to start with this small sketch session. I'm just going to be looking at the different ideas I found on Pinterest, and then also a few of the sketches that I already have made to sort of get it going and start, the ideation process. So that's what I'm going to do. So first off, I'm going to look at the stuff that I already have, and basically I sort of, you can see different ideas here. Well, most of them within sort of cylindric approach, but there are a few outliers, like this one with these sort of things, and that's also what I was inspired by with this sketch over here. So yeah, and then different ideas. Basically, I'm curious to see if there's some way that I can sort of utilize sort of a soft shape on the top, and then this sort of cylindrical approach on the base, which would basically give me sort of a nice good grippy shape, and then this sort of big bulby thing on top with lots of light coming through. And I think that's this is a nice soft one with this sort of thing on top. So it's sort of something that I see could make a difference in like this sort of more like a torch basically than maybe a flashlight. But there are ways that I can maybe slide something on. So imagine that sort of slid something like this on here. This basically would be sort of a simple thing that you can slide up here and then basically have a flashlight. I think that could sort of work, I guess. So that could be one idea that would make sense maybe to investigate. These are just quick rough sketches to sort of get my thought process going. So that's sort of one way of doing it. So another idea that I could sketch up would probably be inspired by something like this thing about having, there's a bunch of things that you could do, but cutting out things, or this one actually, that's sort of what inspired the first one here. So maybe I should do something different for this one. Modularity, or just like these juxtapositions of two different forms might be interesting. So let's say, imagine that this is just an idea, right? So if you were to have sort of a shape like this, which would then this would be your head, basically, and then that would be juxtapositioned on top of a bit larger. Sort of body that sort of goes underneath like that, maybe. So you sort of have your main body, and then you have like this sort of head sort of sticks out. Maybe it would be like, if you were seeing it, be something like this, perhaps. Now, that's just one idea, maybe not the best, but that is definitely an idea. Maybe juxtaposition something a little bit different, like well, I had this idea up here, which is not a juxtaposition at all, but it's just like a very, very simple shape. The one that you see over here with basically a simple cylindrical form with a nice soft end, and then sort of having this sort of lens here. And then maybe you could imagine that this one would swivel and to sort of adjust things. That might work. It could also be that you needed sort of, what I did there was adding sort of a cap, but instead of the regular cap, you just had to sort of rotate this sort of area to reveal, I don't know, USB-C port in here, and maybe even a button for reset or something like that. So that could be something very, very simple. This whole thing here might need to sort of change, right? So, but that's what, like, very, very simple idea. And maybe you should do something to the end here. Imagine that. That's maybe a hole, or something else for a small wire to come out of, or something like that. Something like that, right? Could be something in the end here. So there's different areas, and this one, if you were to look at that, there might be these small ridges, and maybe something like this that sticks out, small protrusions from the body. Maybe this sort of cover or plastic diffuser has some sort of texture on it. That might be something that could be useful. So yeah, something like that maybe would work. Yeah. Let's drop this. Okay, so that's something that we could use. Perhaps we could also maybe look at the juxtaposition again. Would be interesting to look at. Maybe instead of having two, one square, then maybe we'll just have a simple cylinder. Sort of sits on top of the larger one, and you would think that this one sort of just slightly moves into the body, and then that is actually your light source up here. Very, very simple, very, very clean. And then this one doesn't have anything to it. It's maybe just a cylinder, like a grip area that you can hold on to. So it might look like this from the side. Yeah, something like that. Maybe that could work. So yeah, there's tons of options here. For doing this sort of thing. Yeah, so again, just ideas, just sketches, just thoughts of cleaning it. I still think this one is actually quite interesting with this sort of soft shape to it. A very soft body here. Still think that could be valuable somehow. But yeah, again, these are just ideas to keep things going. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.